The honourable member for Regina-Wascana.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to follow up on a very exciting issue that I first raised in this House last month, the Alaska to Alberta Railway. I was glad to see in the news last month the announcement by the Alaska to Alberta Railway Development Corporation that they had secured the necessary American permit to move that project forward. This railway will be tremendously beneficial to Canadians for a number of reasons. First, the costs of this railway are all being paid for by the private sector. The Alaska to Alberta Railway Development Corporation is a private sector business that is willing to put up $17 billion of investors' money to move that project forward. The only ask of the federal government is to rubber stamp that permit so that the project can move ahead. Second, this project will create jobs, lots of jobs, 28,000 good, high-paying jobs for both Indigenous and non-Indigenous people in the Yukon, Northwest Territories, and the rest of Western Canada. As we come out of the pandemic, unemployed Canadians are going to need jobs to go back to, and the Alaska to Alberta Railway can help to create these jobs. Third, this railway presents an exciting opportunity to connect the Yukon and Northwest Territories with the rest of Canada and to open up Canada's north. Residents in the Yukon and Northwest Territories pay some of the highest grocery bills in the country because foodstuffs have to be flown in by airplane to remote northern communities or trucked in during the winter across ice roads over frozen lakes and rivers. According to a recent study by the Yukon Anti-Poverty Coalition, the living wage rate in Whitehorse was $19.07 per hour in 2019. That places Whitehorse among the highest costs of living anywhere in the country. If the people in the Yukon and Northwest Territories had regular, reliable rail service, then grocery bills and the cost of living would go down, and the people in the North would have more money left over in their pockets at the end of the month. Finally, Madam Speaker, the Alaska to Alberta Railway will help the landlocked provinces of Saskatchewan and Alberta to get Western Canadian resources to international markets. Saskatchewan and Alberta produce more wheat, barley, canola, lentils, oil, natural gas, and potash than we can possibly consume domestically. Anything that we can do to get those goods to Tidewater and onto international markets will be beneficial to everyone. Now, Madam Speaker, I realize that the government has not yet received an initial project description for the Alaska to Alberta Railway, but I would like to know, can the government at least see the potential benefits that this project presents to both Indigenous and non-Indigenous people in the Yukon, Northwest Territories, and the rest of Western Canada? And will the government commit to work in good faith and cooperation with the Alaska to Alberta Railway Development Corporation so that this project is given every consideration to move forward to the benefit of everyone involved? Thank you.
Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Environment and Climate Change.
Madam Speaker, I'm pleased to address the question by the member for Regina-Wascana. Madam Speaker, this government is committed to the sustainable and responsible development of major resource projects in support of a healthy economy for all Canadians. We're working to ensure that our energy and natural resource sectors remain a source of good middle-class jobs, prosperity, and of course opportunity across the country. And we are committed to supporting and promoting the competitiveness of our Canadian companies in order to attract investment, open international markets, and get resources to markets. Should the Alaska-Alberta Railway Development Corporation choose to advance their project through the regulatory system in Canada, our government will work to ensure a timely and predictable review to help Canada achieve its commitment to a cleaner environment and sustainable economy. We're delivering high-quality environmental and impact assessments openly and effectively. These assessments include contributions from the public, from Indigenous groups, and all, in the goal of enabling the government to make evidence-based decisions about major projects. The Impact Assessment Act, Madam Speaker, put in place better rules to protect our environment. to rebuild public trust in how decisions about resource development are made and ensure that Canada remains competitive in the global marketplace. It ensures that broad factors are considered in project reviews, including all facets of a project: economic, environmental, social, and of course, health aspects. The Impact Assessment Act ensures greater transparency, Madam Speaker, in federal decisions on major projects. The new impact assessment regime means that both science and Indigenous knowledge inform decision-making. These changes will increase public confidence that major project assessments can move forward in a timely and responsible way. The Impact Assessment Act streamlines the assessment process and improves coordination with the provinces and territories to reduce red tape for companies and to avoid duplicating efforts in reviewing proposed projects. Under the Impact Assessment Act, Madam Speaker, all assessments will occur in partnership with Indigenous peoples as well as provinces and territories. Canadians will have the opportunity to express their views early and frequently in the process, and industry will have more clarity about requirements. Project reviews will be more rigorous and efficient, and timelines will be made more predictable. Our government knows that a clean environment and a strong economy go hand in hand, Madam Speaker, and we will continue supporting good resource projects in Canada in a responsible, transparent, and timely fashion, while also ensuring that a sustainable future is there for future generations to come. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Oh, the honourable member for Regina-Wascana.
Well, Madam Speaker, I'm glad to hear at least some qualified support from the government for the Alaska to Alberta Railway. But I have to admit I'm concerned that this may be a case of deja vu. About a year and a half ago, the Canadian Environmental Assessment Agency recommended the approval of the Tech Frontier mine. Tech Frontier represented a $20 billion private sector investment that would have created 9,500 jobs. Unfortunately, Tech Frontier's application sat on the Prime Minister's desk for 6 months. I ask that the government not turn the Alaska to Alberta Railway into another train wreck the way it did Tech Frontier. Can the government promise that it will not let the Alaska to Alberta Railway application sit on the Prime Minister's desk for 6 months and instead move that project forward quickly? Thank you.
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and thanks to my honourable colleague for his question. Madam Speaker, our government is committed to growing our economy while protecting our environment, and we will continue to ensure that all good projects move forward in a timely manner. With Canada's new Impact Assessment Act, this government, our government, is increasing regulatory certainty and clarity and encouraging investment in Canada's natural resource and related sectors. And we're going to continue to work with Alberta and all provinces and territories, Madam Speaker, to provide good jobs and clean, sustainable growth for people in all of Canada's regions. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.